Hey everybody, welcome to Business Basics for Startups. This is Module 3, Financing Your Startups. My name is Rich Gannon. I'm a business advisor with the Montana Small Business Development Center and the Great Falls, Montana Development Authority. In this module, we are going to talk about and address one of the most common questions entrepreneurs have when they start a business, and that is, where and how am I going to get the money to start my business? So there's really, when it comes down to it, there's two categories of money for starting a business, and that's equity and debt. So either money you own and have access to, and that's equity, or debt, money you borrow. So this table here admittedly is a bit dated from 2018, but we find it to be kind of hold true. You can see from it, most small businesses are going to start through some form of personal funds, be it savings, personal credit cards, tapping into some other form of equity. Although not impossible, it is really, really quite rare to get a conventional business loan for a startup. So less than 10% of the time will small entrepreneurs start with a conventional business loan. So what are lenders really looking for when it comes to a loan? Well, first, they do not fund poorly presented plans. They do fund sometimes comprehensive business plans and financially feasible ideas. Really, lenders look at what we call the 5 C's of credit, or 5 C's of lending, and those are listed here. So cash flow, does the business idea actually have a path forward in order to service and pay for debt? So does the business show profitability? What is the character of the borrower? So that includes your personal management history, your personal history in general. Credit, so of course, banks are going to look at your credit score. So the higher, the better when attempting to borrow money. Capital, so there is no such thing as 100% financing, especially for startups. So expect to come with 20 to 30% of your total project cost in the form of some form of equity. And then finally, collateral. What type of collateral do you have to back up the loan? So there's a link here to more details on the 5 C's of lending. And then also on this web page, there's what we have built as kind of a self-assessment of your 5 C's of credit. So something for you to take a look at and try to honestly answer how you would show up in that 5 C's. So as I mentioned a couple slides ago, most businesses are going to be started with forms of personal equity. So the bank loan, it's kind of a rare thing to get a bank loan for a startup. So top 3 sources really are founder savings, cash flow from the business. So in other words, the business starts, the profit the business makes gets poured back into the business, and then access to some form of personal equity. But really what you have to do is, kind of going back to that very first module, determine your total startup cost. So what is that total startup cost? And then how much of it can you self-finance? So once you know the total startup cost and how much of it you can self-finance, then you'll figure out what the gap is between what you can do and what maybe you'll have to go out and look for funding for. If you have a few minutes, I'd like you to watch this link I've got here. I was going to try to embed it, but it just didn't work. It's going to be linked on this page, and that's the money game from the Kauffman Foundation. They do a really good job of explaining truly where most entrepreneurs find money to start their business. And then finally, don't rely on free money to start your business. So, well, using the words myth might be a little bit too strong of words. There really are very few grants out there for startups. There are a few grants for businesses, but those generally are for businesses that already exist. And if you do find a grant for a business, it usually is reimbursement based, which in other words, you are going to have to fund the initial cost to then get reimbursed. But really, don't spend a bunch of your time and energy searching for free money. Really doesn't exist. I did list a couple of grant aggregators here where you can kind of search for some of those grants, but my advice, you're better off working on your plan than searching for free money. So thank you for taking time to watch this module. Be sure to check out that video I mentioned and also the self-assessment that will be linked on this page. Thanks.